been asked if I could do a tutorial for the Shadowbox stepper cards that I've shown in my last two videos. So yeah, that's not a problem. This is the die that I used to cut the frame for the Shadowbox, and it is this one, Frame Decorative Rectangle by Sizzix. I'm not sure if they make this anymore, but this is the frame that it cuts, which is quite sweet. If you don't have the die, you can probably easily cut a frame for yourself. And the dimensions of the middle of this frame are 9 centimeters by 7.5 centimeters, which is about 3.5 inches, just over 3.5 inches by just under 3 inches. For those of you on the other side of the world who use inches. Okay, you'll need 2 pieces of A4 card, 1 piece for the for the stepper card, which you need to trim down to 28 centimeters, which is the same as about 11 inches. I'll put that one to one side. I already did this video, part of this video once, and for some reason I deleted the footage, so we'll start again. So let's turn this over. What I've done with the other piece of card is I put my frame down onto the card, and then I drew around the centre, and then I measured for the depth of the inside of the Shadowbox card, where it goes down. I want mine 2 centimeters, so I've gone all around the card and measured 2 centimeters and have drawn a line. 2 centimeters equals 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and then I'm going to need another lip then to glue it onto the back of the frame, and you need to see how wide your frame is. I can't be any wider than this small point here, which is 1 centimeter, so I've gone around the edge again with a 1 centimeter border. But obviously you can adjust yours to fit whichever size frame you're going to be putting on there. Okay, so I don't need that piece anymore. The next thing to do is score along all these edges and fold them. You need to fold the inner line upwards and then the outer line backwards, so that it's standing up like that on all sides. Okay, so we'll do that and then I'll come back. Right, so when all your folding's done, you can see quite clearly where it's supposed to go. And now, to help, where in these 2 bottom corners where I've marked with red, those are to be cut off. Okay, so we'll do that. Use the score marks as your guideline. I've done this on the shortest edge of the box as well. see what I'm doing okay. Right. Okay, so then you're left with something like that. Now here, on the next lines in, I've marked with black. The same, underneath where you've cut these off, you then need to slit these along up to this line. So we're just going to slit, 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 and that will give you the formation for your shadow box. So then all of these flaps that are left now, we're going to add glue to them. And then glue carefully each piece of the shadow box. If you want to cut this extra little bit of the end of that bottom bit off, I don't suppose it will make any difference, but it just is okay to leave it on as well. It will just make it that little bit stronger. And then you do the same on the other side. Turn it around to you. Glue, glue. You could probably use ATG if you wanted to, but I'm using tacky glue because it doesn't really take very much longer, and it gives you a little bit more manipulation time. Obviously when you do yours, you'll make the pencil marks very faint. So that you can rub them off, because they will show there. Okay, so when those are all glued together, and then these are turned outwards, you've got your box with your little lips, and then you want to put glue on all of these lips. And then take your frame and line up the square in the centre. And carefully glue it on. It was a bit tricky. You can turn it over the other way. And let's hold that in place then until it's glued. It doesn't usually take that long. If you don't want this to show at the back where you've glued it on, you can paint this part. That's what I did with mine. I painted one black and the other one pink to match. So this one, as it's green frame, I would probably paint it green. Anyway, I'll leave that up to you. So there's your shadow box done now, and ready for you to put any embellishments that you want in the bottom. If you want to decorate the inside, you've got your piece of paper that came from the inside of the die, which you can just trim to fit in there perfectly. This would just need a little tiny bit cut off the edges, so you can have that in the bottom. Obviously I've got to cut that to fit, but you get the general idea. Or you can just leave it plain, or really embellish it however you want. So that's the shadow box side of it done. Now let's go back to our stepper card. Okay, so now you want to take your other A4 sheet, which we cut down to 28 centimeters or 11 inches, and you need to see where you want your shadow box to be. You can either have it this way round or that way round, depending on how you want to embellish the shadow box and make your card. It makes no difference. You need to make sure that this edge doesn't hang over that edge if you want to put it in some sort of envelope, but they are pretty dimensional, so probably it would be better for a card that you were just going to give to somebody by hand. Anyway, I'm just sort of eyeballing this really so that it looks right. And then I'm going to mark it sort of about let's see, that's about ½ inch, so ½ inch the other side. Just make a small mark from the edge of the shadow box outwards. Okay, and then with your ruler you just want to make a very faint line down your card. Okay, so you know this is your topper side, and this side's where your stairs are going to be. So turn the card up onto your scoreboard. Now we need to draw a line in the middle of the card, and so for us in centimeters, it's going to be 14 centimeters, and for inches it'll be 5.5 inches if you're using 11 inches as the length of your paper. So now we're going to score down right the way through this card to divide it in half. So for us it's 14 centimeters. Okay, then the next score line that you're going to do will be at 7 centimeters, that's 2 3/4 inches, and this one you're just going to do down to that faint line that you've drawn. Then the next one will be at 18 centimeters, 7 1/4 inches, so 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and again just down to that line, don't go over the line. The next one will be at 22, which is 8 3/4 inches, and the final one will be at 25, which is 10 inches. Okay. Now we're going to cut between the 7 centimetre mark and the 21 centimetre mark. So it's the first 2 score lines really. We're going to cut this line down the middle. And you need to do it carefully and accurately. I find it's easier, if you're going to do it like this, to do it with a steel ruler. You can always do it in your paper trimmer if you prefer. Right, I can't find my cutting knife that I wanted, so I'm going to use this one. So start from there, use your ruler as a guide. Okay. Once you've done that, you can rub out that pencil mark. Okay, then basically it's folding. So you fold the first part along the 14 centimetre mark and then work your way from the bottom. So the first one will go down, then the next one will go up, and then the next one down, up, and then down. And that will form the steps. Excuse me. And just reinforce them with your bone folder. And there's your stepper card. So you then glue your shadow box onto this section. It's easier to see wherever you like, and then it's up to you to embellish it however you want. Anyway, I hope you could understand that, and I hope it helps. I look forward to seeing what you come up with. If you need some ideas on embellishing, you can always go back and look at my last 2 videos. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Look forward to reading your comments. Take care now. Bye.